Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another segment of Asaph Cafe. I am your host, Asaph, and immediately on my left, affectionately, our aging rocker Emmett, who's sitting in with me today, and we're going to be hanging out. This time, we're on the set of a group from the past called the Champs, and we'll get more into detail in a moment. You want to start us off?
Heavenly Father, bless our soda and our time together in Jesus' name.
I'm in a total agreement. Before we start, I want to do a tribute to Rabbi Yehiel Eckstein, or Eckstein, I think it's how it's pronounced. He's the founder and the president of the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. He founded that organization, and we lost him yesterday, February 6th, I believe it was. So I wanted to give out this quick tribute to Rabbi Eckstein. Eckstein, I think it's how it's pronounced. Israeli American. And he founded the headquarters is in Chicago and Jerusalem. So we're sorry for his loss. I want to give my condolences to his family. And he spent his life doing wonderful things for Jewish people, for children, families, and Holocaust survivors. And that's a
I've heard of the organization. I get kind of stuff in the mail. Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
In fact, I told you they sent me a plaque once.
Yeah, wonderful.
I made a donation to this organization, and I told them that this was only be a one-time thing, but they sent me a plaque anyway, and they had other rabbis sign it besides Rabbi Yehiel, so it's a wonderful plaque that I have on my wall at home to this day.
Yep.
And I think the New Testament, or the Old Testament, talks about blessing Israel.
Yes, it does.
And helping the Jewish people.
I agree.
And stuff like that. And I know there's other worthy organizations too, but my heart goes out to this one, and this is the organization I would really want to help if I could.
Yeah.
They got like St. Jude, they have all these other organizations, and with me it would be this organization if I could do it all the time. But he was born in 1951. Passed away yesterday, February 6th. Today is the 7th as we're taping this.
Yep.
Just wanted to give a tribute. Let's see if we can think of a song that, an Israeli song that they would like. Let's see, I think
I just heard it on the 700 Club before I shaved, and just briefly heard about it on the 700 Club today.
Let me try it again. I think this is called "Oh Lord" is the name of this song. How excellent is it? It's based on the Book of Psalms. How excellent is your name?
Yes.
Let me try it again. Have you ever heard it?
No, I never have.
How excellent is your name?
Interesting.
Based on the Book of Psalms. But anyway, we lost him, and I just wanted to give a quick tribute to him.
Oh, wonderful.
We know where he's at. He's with his Lord and Savior. As we'll all be there eventually.
Yes.
All right, let's have fun with our topic. Now, this group here, we're on the backdrop of a group called the Champs. The saxophone player, his name was Danny Flores, also known as Chuck Rio. He had two names. His real name was Danny Flores, and he was a rock and roll saxophone player. That was his title, I guess. He was, I don't know if he was the front man of the group, but he played the saxophone for the group. Yeah. The group, the Champs. And their most famous song was a song called Tequila.
Yeah, that was good. It's good for a grocery store. Do you remember the grocery store easy listening that they had? That was really good. Where at Lucky's or Safeway or Albertsons, years ago in the 70s. In some early 80s or the 60s, and they would play this with the saxophone, and they would play it in the grocery store loud while you're shopping in the aisles, and someone would say, like in Tucson, we had a Lucky's. Everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day at Lucky's. Today, on our meat department, we have buy two things of such and such steak, get a third one free. And we have 10% off in our hot deli department, even with some Chinese food and some other things. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for shopping at Lucky's. I mean, do you remember that? That was wonderful. And you would just shop, and I remember hearing that. Yeah.
That part there.
Yeah.
Tequila. I don't know how to play that song.
Yeah.
That's not really a piano song. I'm just trying to.
No, but I would shop with my grandmother sometimes, and that stuff would be in there, and in the grocery. I loved it. I loved easy listening like this, And they would play it loud. I just loved it.
Yeah. But anyway, setting up the synopsis, the name of the group is called The Champs. Tequila was their biggest hit, came out in 1958. And they had some other songs too, like another song called Too Much Tequila.
That was a good one. You just played me that. That was very easy listening, perfect for a grocery store.
El Rancho was
sounds good.
Another song that they had was a hit.
Yeah.
And this might interest you. Glenn Campbell, a very young Glenn Campbell, caught the tail end of the group. Mm-hmm. You know, when the group was like already passing their heyday, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Glenn Campbell was one of the last members in the group from the 70s, Sills and Croft. Before they became Sills and Croft, they were part of the Champs too.
Yeah, interesting.
But these were the original guys here, the Champs here.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people associate Glenn Campbell with this group, but that's just a piece of trivia I want to.
I can't handle tequila. I love the taste of it. I've had tequila, but it just freezes me up really bad. I can barely move. I just stay away from tequila.
It's a very potent drink from what I understand.
It's very potent.
From what I understand, yeah.
If I were very sick with if I were very sick with influenza, I might have a couple of things of tequila. Otherwise, no. No, I do not take tequila. I've had it. I love the taste of tequila. It's just too strong. I can handle whiskey. Ironically, I can't handle Irish whiskey.
Really?
That is made, like American whiskey, like Jack Daniels, is made from corn, or even, black velvet, like more for corn. I love the taste of Irish whiskey, like Tullamore Dew or Jameson.
Yeah.
It's grain. I get physically sick. I mean, I'm drinking shot after shot. One time, a friend of mine, we were just drinking shot after shot, and we're listening to some Irish music. I fell down, and I had to throw up immediately, and I just started hurling, and I got so sick. They drugged me home, and I was just sick as a dog. They shouldn't call it Tullamore Dew. They should call it Tullamore Don't.
I see. Okay.
It was just horrible. I've even had a little Jameson, and I've gotten a little ill. I love the taste of Irish whiskey. Something about that, it's made from grain rather than like rye or one of those whiskeys that's made from corn. Something about the sugar or the way it is, it just makes me physically sick. I love the taste of Irish whiskey.
Okay.
It makes me so sick. I have to stick with American. I love a little American whiskey with some tonic water, or like even Coca-Cola or old American whiskey with like orange juice to make what do they call a screwdriver?
Okay.
But I cannot, and I love Irish whiskey. Some people love it. I can't. It makes me physically sick, and I'm throwing up and throwing up.
Wow.
You can get so hungover on that stuff. It's bad.
Well, here's an Irish song since you talked about it. You may have heard me play this song. Coming to the Rye. Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, Irish whiskey and I are old enemies. I'll have sips of that, and then I'll go, just pass out, just go, I don't know why, and I love Irish music. But I love the taste of Irish whiskey, but I just can't do it, Yeah, my friend and I were taking shots of Tullamore Dew and listening to music like that, and then I just got so sick it just hit me. I mean, it hit me all of a sudden. Oh boy. And I love Irish whiskey.
Cool.
But I just can't take tequila. Yeah.
Tequila, yeah.
I love the taste of tequila, but
tequila, I don't think it makes any difference.
No.
But anyway,
is there really a worm at the end of a bottle of tequila?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
That's the old saying, legend has that or something, but I doubt it. That'd be very unlikely.
Yeah.
You'd have a health code and everything.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
If that were the case.
That's a good point.
So, yeah. But you doing all right otherwise?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Candelabra may not show up on here, but that's okay. You can barely see it.
Yeah, I've heard it's made from some sort of leaf down in Mexico, the tequila.
I don't
know.
I
don't know, some sort of plant or something.
Yeah. So anyway, our topic on today, and Em and I are going to have a fun little debate probably. we're going to talk about one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into this discussion here, let me name some groups from the past. Now, you know, when they say one-hit wonder, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have one song and that everything else was not good. Because a lot of these one-hit wonders have other hits and other songs.
Yeah.
And some do, some don't. But the thing is, they have this one song that peaks, that really peaks.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why they call it one-hit wonder.
There was an old punk rock band I have on videotape, or a collection of punk rock videos. It was called One Chord Wonders. It was a really cool song. The Wonders don't care. We don't give a darn. I can't say the D-A-M, word, but the Wonders don't care. We don't give a darn. Something dun 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 dun. The Wonders don't care.
Yeah.
I like that song, but yeah.
But I don't know if that fits in that category. But let me name some groups from the past. Now, of course, we talked about the Champs already. They're our primary group for this segment here. There was a singer named Taco, spelled just like the food, T-A-C-O. He had a song called "Putting on the Ritz,"
and I hated that song.
It had a really, I don't want to say jazz, I want to say hip hop kind of a beat. It went something like that.
I despise that song. I absolutely hate that song. That song. It's all about wanting to be style and rich and being tuxedos and famous.
But that was the fun of the whole thing.
That's why I hate it, because I hate that lifestyle.
We'll debate that more in a bit. Let me name some other groups here. But I wanted to say the original "Putting on the Ritz" came out around 1930.
Yeah.
It was written by Irving Berlin, a famous composer, and they used it in a lot of movies at that time.
Horrible.
And then there was a female group called Los Del Rio. They had a song called Macarena. You know, hey Macarena.
Was that the one you were playing that was bumper music to Rush Limbaugh?
Yeah.
Da, dun, dun,
Yeah, it was like hey Macarena. Yeah, something like that.
And at Rush Limbaugh, the radio program, they often have bumper music just introducing.
Yeah.
And they would have that, and then Rush Limbaugh would say, "Hey, there's a phone call from such and such in New York. Welcome to the." But that's I've heard on the bumper music.
So that was called Macarena, and that song I believe came out in 1996. According to my notes. There was another song by a group called Soft Cell. They had a song called "Tainted Love."
I didn't care for that. I could tell that was an 80s song.
Yeah, that came out in 1982.
Yeah, I
and
couldn't
stand that.
They had
another song called "I'm Too Sexy."
I hated that song.
Right Said Fred, I believe was the name of the group.
I despise that song.
Too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy. And he ripped his t-shirt. I mean, of course, he's all chiseled, like most guys on it.
I hated that song.
And also, finally, I think it's pronounced Bahamut. Who let the dogs out?
Oh, that is, that is hell. I heard it. It's a friend of mine said years ago, but that drove me insane. So that is one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life. I think they play that in hell. I think the evil one plays that in hell, and that's part of the torments, is you have to listen to that song, Who Let the Dogs Out.
I don't know. They had it in the Shrek movie, I think, one of the Shrek movies. But, okay, let's talk about Who Let the Dogs Out. I think it's a cute little fun. It's silly, fun, silly. Just,
but it drives me crazy. They even
let the dogs out. It's just one of those songs that
makes you sick, makes you want to throw up.
Makes no sense, but you just want to have fun with it, and so
just drives me crazy. It's like, oh man, they even played that on the. They played that song on the Tournament of Roses parade on New Year's Day one year.
Yeah, it's I call it fun.
Yeah, they had a float where were having some dogs skiing on some water skis or something, and they were playing that song. I could barely handle it.
And that's what I mean by fun, silly. When they do things like that. And then
some things like that irritate me beyond belief. It's like,
and then the "I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt." That's just one of those fun, silly, like, oh, seriously, dude, and he's ripping his t-shirt. He won't even put a t-shirt on because he's just too good looking. He's just too sexy. I'm too sexy to wear a t-shirt, so I'm gonna walk around on my bare chest,
these are songs are good reasons to avoid hell. I'm trying to make a joke, kind of like Christian comedy. I'm just kind of stepping. I've never done Christian comedy, but it's a good reason to avoid hell. Imagine not only you're burning the fire, but you're having to listen to those musics, those songs for all eternity.
Well, you and I are gonna just differ on that. I just look at it as fun, silly. Now, Tainted Love, that might be a little depressing.
Oh, I couldn't stand that song. You just played for me. I didn't like it.
That might be a little depressing. And that title, but that sounds like something that a rock band or something would probably use, I guess.
I didn't like it.
And then of course the Macarena, it was just a bunch of dancing,
I didn't mind that too much because it's bumper music for Rush Limbaugh.
It was something like this.
Yeah. Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Hey Macarena. Mm-hmm. But anyway. And I'm sure there were other one-hit wonders, as they called them. But I just look at those songs are fun, silly. They were so silly that you couldn't help but have fun with them, and that's probably why they became a hit.
I know, and I hated the song like "Walk Like an Egyptian." That drove me crazy.
Well, I can't remember if that was in the one-hit wonder, but I do remember.
It's
that
in that
song,
type of crowd. Yeah,
Walk
that
Like
drove
an
me
Egyptian.
nuts.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hated that song. That's a Sid Wonder typer. The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Please. That song was horrible too.
Actually, that song has a history. Actually, people think of Pete Seeger when they hear that song, but it was a guy named Solomon back in the 1930s, I believe, who did the African version of that song, and it sounded really like Africa. And something happened where somehow he either sold the rights or something at the time. He got gypped, actually. And then by the time the song got to the United States and the Disney organization and people like Pete Seeger started singing it and all, but there was a happy ending because eventually when they figured it all out where that song actually came from, his family was compensated for the loss.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, Solomon Lindo, I think was his name.
Yeah, but I hated that song.
African-American singer. And it really had a Tarzan-y kind of a African flavor to it. Not like the melody that like this melody here.
And it's like one of those stupid songs. Why does anyone care if a lion sleeps tonight?
Yeah,
How does that
but
affect
it has
me?
sort of a different melody, and then eventually it became to the melody that you and I know. But I just wanted to throw that bit of trivia. I did a story on Solomon Lindo and the history of Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Yeah,
I'm glad his family got compensated.
That's true.
I'm really, or I should say his descendants got compensated, so I'm really happy about that.
The only one-hit wonder I really liked was Deo, something about banana
That's called the Banana Boat Song. That wasn't a one-hit song. That was just one of many hits.
Oh, well, I liked that song.
Harry Belafonte.
I like that song a lot.
Jamaica Farewell, too, that went something like this. You recognize it?
Uh-huh. My mother had the Banana Boat Song, and I liked that, but in that kind of category.
You see?
Yep. And I've heard that on the easy listening stations,
Yeah.
I've heard that played on easy listening stations.
That's called Jamaica Farewell. That was a big hit for Harry Belafonte.
Oh, yeah.
The Banana Boat Song, Deo, it went something
Very
like
nice. And it's one of the few one-hit type wonders,
Let me do it again. Hold on, let me try it again.
And I'm not even the biggest fan of Bananas the Fruit. I'm not even the biggest fan, but I just like the song. And I can imagine working hard to get some rum.
But that
I can relate
but that
to.
wasn't a one-hit song. That was one of the big... That song stayed on the charts for like 2 months.
Whoa, yeah, because that was a good song.
Yeah, Harry Belafonte made that song.
Yeah, I can understand,
Jamaica music, yeah.
Yeah, and working hard all day, having bananas so you can buy some rum. That I understand. I can relate to that.
Yeah, and there were a lot of other songs that Harry Belafonte did in his career that were major hits.
Yeah.
But I didn't play that very well. I don't really know how to play that song, but I'm just picking it out.
I love that song.
Like that. Yeah.
It's one of the few type of things, very nice. I love rum, so, working hard to get some rum, I love rum, so, something I can relate to.
He had a really good flavor, Caribbean, Jamaican flavor to his early
It did,
music,
yeah.
and it was pleasant, very nice.
And I'm not even a really big fan of bananas, I've had bananas, the fruit. I'm not really a big fan of it. I've had many bananas, but, Yeah. I've never even had a banana smoothie that would probably be good, or something like rum with some sort of banana smoothie, banana flavoring. That'd be kind of good, but or whiskey, that'd be good. With some sort of like banana chaser, like something with banana something or cream or something. That'd be nice, but. Oh, put it on my head. Look at this. Put this on my head. Isn't that fascinating? What do you think? There was one hit wonder that I really hated. That was Don't Cry Out Loud. I think it was by Linda Ronstadt. Don't quote me. Might not have been. It was in the late 70s. I've talked about this on the show. You know, don't cry out loud. Just keep it inside and learn how to hide your feelings. And if you break down, remember you almost had it all. Isn't that horrible?
I don't know that part yet. Speaking of Linda Ronstadt, I was reading.
I don't know
about
if it was her or someone else, but.
Well, I was reading about her. You know, her singing days are in the past now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she's dealing with what is it, Alzheimer's or one of those kind of diseases like that.
Yeah.
And it's completely taken her voice away. But she's
Well,
well into her 70s now. But she had been on the scene for like
40
years.
Yeah.
And she put out some wonderful hits.
Yeah. I don't know if it was Linda Ronstadt or someone else that wrote.
Probably not, because she was more 70s.
Okay, because this was in the 70s. This was in the 70s.
Kind of music, you know.
This was a
Stuff like
70s
that.
song, and I heard on the radio going to, to school, I don't know what it was on the radio. Don't cry out loud, just keep it inside and learn how to hide your feelings. And even as an 11-year-old kid, I realized this could lead to bad problems. I've cried openly many times.
Well, speaking of crying, I think it's healthy to be honest with your emotions and cry if you need to, especially if you're hurting about something.
Exactly.
Something's troubling you, cry.
Exactly.
I mean, I've cried on God's shoulder a lot.
Oh, yeah, same here, same here. Yeah, same here.
But see where I'm going with this is, we're taught as men to bottle that up,
and that's horrible.
And I think, I agree with you. That's very
that can
horrible.
lead to physical problems, mental health problems. It can lead to cardiac arrest, even at age 11.
I agree with you.
At age 11, I changed the lyrics. I wrote, "And if you end up in cardiac arrest, remember you almost had it all," because that stuff can lead to cardiac arrest if you refuse to cry. It can lead to all sorts of health problems, That was a horrible song. That was just, whoever wrote it was a horrible.
Yeah.
One of the worst songs.
I don't know that song, but I do agree with you. You should be honest with your emotions. To thine own self be true, is the old saying.
Yeah. I would rather listen to Who Let the Dogs Out than that song. Much rather. Hands down. Because the lyrics are so cruel and so horrible,
Beautiful song.
When Father Harrington, my spiritual director and father confessor, when he passed away, I cried for several months. I'd put on Neil Diamond or John Denver and cry my eyes out because he was such a good and kind person, wonderful, wonderful holy man,
Okay, I see.
He's one of my best friends in the whole world,
Beautiful song. At that speed.
Yeah.
It's going to probably take me a couple of years to really get used to that song. I'm still trying to memorize it. I haven't got it memorized yet. So. But it's beautiful at that speed, though.
Yeah.
It's called the Fantasy Impromptu. It makes you wonder what Chopin was thinking when he wrote this song with those two rhythms.
Probably very depressed. It's a very depressing song. Never really cared much for songs in minor key. Punk rock in minor key I love, But,
Yeah, beautiful.
kind of dreary though,
Well, I'm playing it slow motion right now. But it goes a lot faster.
Yeah.
It's got these two rhythms.
Yeah.
on it. And so on. But it's going to take me a while to get used to that song.
Yeah,
if I ever really work it up. I don't know if I'll ever really be able to do it. But Chopin's Fantasy Impromptu is the name of that. Anyway, getting back to these one-hit wonders. I mean, obviously they're probably not performing anymore now. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, when this group, the Champs, came out, that was back in 1958.
Yeah.
You and I were not even born. I wasn't even born then. Not. I was born in '58, but not at the time when this song came out. So, and then it took me at least 10 years to get of age to start getting used to music. So, by the time I got to say 1968, this group was probably already disbanded by then.
Yeah.
Because they only lasted less than 10 years, something like 58.
Yeah.
60-ish.
One hit wonder that I also hated was that horrible song by Madonna, "I'm a Material Girl." Material Girl. I despise that
I'll
song.
play for it.
And we're living in a material world, and I am a material girl.
I'll play it for
It's so anti-Christian. I don't want to be a materialist living for material things.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
I'll play it for you.
No. Yeah, it was just a horrible song. World, and I am a material girl. I hate materialism. A lot of punk rock songs are against materialism, and I love it, you know.
Yeah, this is. Anyway, I get a feeling you feel uncomfortable with wealth. You know, wealth is not wrong.
Wealth isn't wrong, but if you're materialist and you spend it all on yourself and you live for shopping and the mall and the Gucci clothes and you don't help anyone.
Okay, here's a question. Suppose you have $10 million.
Yes.
And you say give $7 million away to charity.
That's fine.
And you keep the rest for yourself and get you some goodies.
That's fine. That's fine. But if you live only for materialism and you think nothing of God, nothing of church, and that was what the song seemed to say to me, you know.
Okay, see, I don't know the lyrics of that song very well, but
I heard it in the 80s and on the school bus on the way to school, and I just despised it. I thought, this is so horrible.
World, you know, if God blesses you with
yes,
just say thanks and enjoy it.
Absolutely, but you've got to help others. You've got to help others. You can't just say, I'm living in a material world. It's all for myself, all me, to heck with you. I want all my shopping done, and I want the fancier suits so I can be popular and fit in. I despise that. That attitude, you know.
I guess you're not going to be working for Madonna then, I guess.
I know. There was another one-hit wonder that I despised in the late 90s. It was, we're a Barbie world and a Barbie world. Something, let's go Barbie, let's go Kendall. I'm a Barbie doll and something in a Barbie world. Listen, everything is plastic. I'm a Barbie, something in a Barbie world. Everything is plastic. Let's go Barbie, let's go Kendall. I hated that song with a passion. I'll admit it is not near as bad as Don't Cry Out Loud, but I still hate that song. Oh, speaking of songs that I finally heard this year, just at the end of last year, or this, I heard this when I was drinking over at one of the bars. It was a Thomas More bar. I love the Thomas More bar, and I just love them. I'm not plugging products, but I finally heard a song I'd heard about in the 80s, which is one of the worst songs I've ever heard. It was made in the late 80s.
What was that?
Don't worry, be happy.
Now, before you go further, I have to let's lay the groundwork.
All right.
Bobby McFerrin is the artist that made that song famous.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you and I are going to disagree with the lyrics, but I have to be fair to him because he's a conservatory guy. And I think he was just... The song was just portraying a positive attitude in the midst of struggle, in the midst of a trial. See, like when you and I talked about in the Christian world where like if you lose everything, you can give thanks. They're not saying give thanks for losing everything. What they're saying is give thanks while you're in the struggle. While you're in the midst of the struggle, you can thank God. Well, and I know that's a lot easier said than done. I'm not making light of that. But that I have to be fair before we had the debate on that song because I think Bobby McFerrin was just giving a message of, looking at the bright side of things and that sort of thing.
Well, I don't think he was saying give thanks. It just seems so callous. I heard it on the radio when I was drinking the beer, and I thought, this is so callous and cruel to someone who's going through a calamity of homelessness or being evicted. Don't worry, be happy even though you've been evicted and you're on the street with no food. That is a calamity, not a trouble.
Yeah, I understand that, but see, like I was saying, I'm not saying you're giving thanks for being homeless.
Right.
What I was saying is you can give thanks in the midst of the trial, not for being homeless. You're not saying, God, I thank you that I'm homeless. You're saying,
but you have the emotion of don't worry, be happy. It's so callous.
Well, that's a song. And you're just saying, God, I don't like this situation, I'm hurting, but I'm going to give thanks to God anyway, despite my suffering. That's what I think Bobby McFerrin was trying to say.
Well,
make it there?
These allergies can just come on.
Yeah, I understand.
Violently.
Yeah, I understand. But no, I don't think that Bobby McFerrin was just being nonchalant or whatever.
Yeah, I thought he was. Because, ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, be happy. The landlord says your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry, be happy. That is so cruel. You're not going to be happy. And I think you should help those type of people.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well,
if you've got no cash and you got no stuff, if you've got no money in the bank and you're having to go to the Poverello and you're homeless, you're not going to be happy. No one should just say, don't worry, be happy. It's like, I don't care about you. I don't care about your problems. Just be happy. Just get over it, no matter if it's a calamity.
Well, I see your side of it, but I don't think he was portraying that image. But I see your side of it. I don't think that's what he had in mind was right. I think he was taking the position like in the Christendom world that says you don't thank God for a divorce, you don't thank God for cancer, but in the midst of having cancer, in the midst of being homeless, you can at least say, God, thank you.
Well,
I think that's what he's implying. And I know that I'm not making light of that because that's a lot easier said than done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but in every life we have some trouble, but when you worry, you make it double. Well, these aren't troubles, these are calamities. A trouble is when your cable bill is late. A trouble or a problem is when you're studying for a math problem or a math test. This is a calamity. This is a catastrophe.
Yeah, I know. But sometimes when you worry and you stress over something, it can cause health issues. So I want to defend this song, I think the best thing you can do when you're stressed, I was listening to Dr. David Jeremiah recently. The best thing you can do when you're stressed is turn it into a prayer. Just go to God.
Oh yeah, you have to. You have to, but that wasn't in the lyrics. It was just callous.
I know. But I think his thing was, if you're not stressing and you're not worrying, it can help your health an awful lot. Well, it may not change the circumstance. We're not talking necessarily about the circumstance, but again, I'm not being being light-headed or whatever, because when you're in a divorce, you got cancer, or you're hurting, it's a lot easier said than done to say thank you to God. But I think that if you can, it may relieve some stress. It may not relieve the problem.
Well, even in the book of
stress,
in the book of James, St. James said, if you see a brother or sister who's hungry and has no clothes, and you say, whatever, have a nice day, keep warm and well fed, but do nothing for the body, what good is that?
Yeah,
that's what they're talking about. If you say, don't worry, paraphrase, don't worry, be happy, what good will that do to anybody since you didn't help them? And
I know. And so you're seeing those lyrics from one side. And I see those lyrics from the other side. Yeah. So that's just two ways.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Because when you think about it, that would be kind of strange. I just get kicked out of my house. Don't worry, be happy.
And that's what the song is about. That's what the song's about.
But I think he's just trying to relay again the stress factor. He's not saying be happy and thankful that you're homeless. I think he's portraying the worrying aspect of it. You can give thanks in the midst, and I've heard it said you can give thanks in the midst of a trial.
Thanks in the midst of a trial.
In the middle of a trial.
Yeah, this is not the same as telling somebody just cheer up, even though they're absolutely down and out, and you don't do anything to help them. And it's the most insulting thing to say. Let's say we were in the Vietnam War and we were being drafted to the Marine Corps and we were going to be shipped off to war. Don't worry, be happy. Or paraphrase, you've been shipped off to war for Vietnam. Don't worry, be happy. You got your legs blown off in Vietnam in the Marine Corps. Don't worry, be happy. No, you're going to be miserable,
Yeah.
To paraphrase.
I see your point, but again, I don't think that's what Bobby McFerrin had in mind. The way you see it. I understand your view. I totally get it. I hear you. But I don't think he had that in mind. It's like that Christian song I was telling you about. I don't know the name of it, but it's got those lyrics. What if I lost everything everything I had? I can still smile and say thank you. Life is joy and life is pain. In the midst of my heart, I'll say thanks. So I think that, like with that Christian song and this song, they're not saying thanks for the problem. They're just saying to give thanks even though you have the problem to relieve stress. I think that's what they're talking about.
This writer of this song, was he a Christian?
Yes, and Bobby McFerrin is an evangelical Christian.
But
that's why I'm taking that position of giving thanks in the midst of a trial.
In some ways, I think that makes it worse. As a Christian, we're to help people. We're to clothe the naked, feed the homeless, shelter them. We are to do that, not just
saying. I don't think he means that in the lyrics of that song. I think it's more of a stress thing to relieve stress. Because let's face it, some people worry so much that they do get sick. Because of circumstances in their life. And again, I'm not making fun of that because to give thanks when you're hurting or whatever is a lot easier said than done. Or even if you're not giving thanks for the problem, because I'm not saying give thanks for the problem. Even if you just giving thanks in the middle of the trial, that's still a lot easier said than done.
I get conformity to the will of God, and I've got books on conforming to God's will, even in adverse circumstances, but that's not the same as don't worry, be happy. You're going to be still unhappy, but you accept the Lord's will as the Lord's will and see it as coming from the hand of God, or God allowing it, but that doesn't mean flippantly, don't worry, be happy. It's totally different,
Yeah. And again, I see your point, but I don't think McFerrin had that in mind when he wrote those lyrics. But I guess this is two ways to
definitely,
look at it. There's two ways to look at it. So.
Punk rock songs are always angry about the trials of life. They're always angry about, homelessness and being beaten up and having to fight and all the horrible things.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they are able to, do frustration and express frustration that way. Like Black Flag wrote, "Depression's got a hold of me. Depression's gonna kill me."
45 minutes have already gone by. I told you this was going to go by really quickly.
People have said, "Son, things are going to get better." All I say is, they blankety blank better, and then the depression's got a hold of me. Depression's gonna kill me. And I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Everybody just stay away. I'm gonna boil over inside it. I mean, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
That anguish, or other, like the Casualties wrote, "I love this rage and hate. I'm filled with something." I can't remember the lyrics, but then even saying something, "You don't know what it's like to be on the streets. You don't know what it's like to be beaten up. No, you don't." And a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
But the writer of these lyrics would probably be singing, "You're on the street and you've been beaten up. Don't worry, be happy." How cruel.
Yeah, but I don't think he had that in mind, though. I can see where it gets sound cruel from your point of view.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, help me with these allergies. In Jesus' name. Sometimes when I'm talking, the allergies are...
Oh, I want to make an announcement because we only got about 10 minutes left. This went by so quickly. This is going to be my 10th year playing at the mall.
Yeah.
This is all Lord willing.
Yes.
This year I'm going to become Liberace.
Wonderful.
Costumes are being prepared for me. I'm
Wonderful.
talking to you now. I'm going to
Wonderful.
those fancy, flashy gowns.
Yeah, wonderful.
And I just think it'll be fun to recreate that.
Yeah. Wonderful.
All that. Fun for children.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful.
And so on. So.
Well, Lord willing, if
Lord willing, yeah, I understand that. So
but Christmas is coming up sooner than you think. It's already February,
I
and
know,
January
I
went
know.
like that, you know.
Yeah, I did. So, Lord willing, that's what I want to do for my 10th anniversary at the mall this year, is to put the Liberace clothes on. And I think the media might cover it too, so
Cool.
We'll see. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Now, of course, the diamonds on my suit won't be real.
Right.
We're going to try to make it look real, have fun with it, just become Liberace, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So.
Liberace must have needed a lot of security at his home. If he wore diamonds on his suit, people would want to steal from him. He must have had
Actually, I heard that he didn't have entourage in his life. He didn't believe in that. He was very approachable. He would just go to the store, shop in a normal clothes by himself, and if somebody walked up to him and happened to recognize him, he'd take time to talk to him, you know?
Wonderful.
Yeah, he was very approachable. The only time he wore those diamonds and stuff was just in a show.
Yeah.
And that's what was fun about watching him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he would just always try to top himself and
Oh,
try
yeah.
to come up with more outrageous costumes, and that's what made it fun.
Wonderful. Even Neil Diamond in some of his concerts, he doesn't wear diamonds, but he has flashy suits like when he stands around that kind of shine and sparkle. I've seen that. That was pretty
it was
good.
part of the outfits. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going to be wearing this year
Cool.
for my 10th year anniversary at the mall.
Cool.
So stay tuned.
Wonderful.
We'll see, you know. But, you know, I'm not a singer or anything. I'll probably never have a hit.
Mm-hmm.
But if I did have one hit, you know what I would do?
What?
I'd just take the money and run.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd take the money, I'd make the money, and I'd put it in savings or something.
Oh, yeah.
Just, just take the money and
Yeah.
run. That's the wisest thing you could do
Mhm.
if you're a one-hit wonder. Because, you know, I don't know a lot about the singing business, but you know what's hard is not so much getting a song out, it's getting the next song out after you have a hit.
Yeah.
That's where I think the difficulty comes in, because to have hit after hit after hit, that'd be hard to do
Yeah.
as a songwriter.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
You know, to get a hit that everybody would like. You know how hard that would be to write a song like that? Probably very hard.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. If I were a one-hit wonder, I would just take the money.
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
Just get out of show business. Say,
Yeah.
thank you, I made my million. I'm going to
Yeah.
invest my money wisely, you know, or something like that.
One-hit wonder I hated that really was, I could not stand Rhinestone Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a rhinestone, like a rhinestone cowboy. Something, something, something in the rodeo.
Play, yeah.
They played that song to death in the 70s. Every time you turn on the radio, like a rhinestone cowboy would be on, and they overplayed that. It drove me nuts. Not as bad as Who Let the Dogs Out. And I certainly rather listen to Rhinestone Cowboy anytime, rather than, you know, Don't Worry, Be Happy, or of course, you know, Don't Cry Out Loud. But, I mean, it's so irritating that that's all he wrote. That's all he sang. Like a rhinestone cowboy, something about the rodeo?
All right, do you know who made that song famous?
No.
Glenn Campbell.
Oh.
He was not a one-hit wonder. That was just one of his
I see.
zillion hits. Glenn Campbell won all kind of awards in his career and life.
I wonder why that song became so popular. I think they...
Probably because of the simplicity of the song.
Yeah, it is a simple
people
song.
like simple songs.
Huh.
You know, so it's a rhinestone cowboy. It's just a cute little, simple, fun song. And
Yeah.
I think that's
They made a movie about it, didn't they?
Probably.
Rhinestone. I think they did.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
But then the problem is, if they're making, I'm not jealous of these people, but you've got to ask yourself, if they're making millions of dollars off stupid songs, why can't I come up with a stupid song like, I want to hit my head with a Pepsi can, and then make millions of dollars?
You never know. You might have a hit. It's just, you know, that's a funny thing, because a lot of artists do a lot of serious songs.
Yeah.
And they do well in their concerts, and they make money and maybe get awards, and then some really silly song will come out.
I know.
And it becomes their biggest hit, you know.
Yeah, it makes no sense, you know.
That's just the way life is. It's hit or miss. I mean,
Well,
somebody could come up with a song and it'll just sell millions. Like this Tequila sold over 1 million copies.
Well, that's a good song. You know, I don't mind that song.
Yeah, but can you imagine if in 1958 the economy was not like today in 2019?
Right.
So if you had $1 million in 1958, it was probably more like 5 million.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so that's
everything was so cheap. Yeah, even homes were
That's a pretty
cheap.
good payday, you know.
Homes were cheaper back in 1958,
Of course, yeah.
infinitely.
They weren't like $100,000. You could buy a home for like $10,000 or $20,000.
It's unbelievable.
At that
Home
time.
ownership is now so out of our league. It's unbelievable. It's so sad.
Same with cars. You go to a car dealer and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
spending $30,000 for a Toyota.
Who can afford this anymore? Who can afford?
At one time, you could get on a game show like Let's Make a Deal, and the big deal would be worth $2,000 or $3,000.
Yeah.
And it'd be like a Pinto or some, some car for the past.
Yeah.
But it's just that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Probably our economy or whatever. I don't know.
I don't even know how anyone can afford to raise a family nowadays. It's so expensive and have a home.
I know.
Nobody can afford it anymore. I don't know, even home ownership, that's a dream that's now out of reach for everybody, pretty much.
Yeah,
Except for the very filthy rich,
Well, if somebody has a really, really good paying job.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, somebody in the military maybe.
Yeah.
And you got to put like 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
1 or 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Something like that maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, I don't know if I'll ever own a home. Probably not.
Yeah, it's really, I would love to own a home.
I wish I could have my own home, but I don't have no $100,000.
Yeah, I know.
$100,000.
And the property taxes and all the other stuff you got to do and upkeep.
Plus you got to pay, the light bill and heat bill.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I also meant. Yeah.
Getting those Section 8 on that, not likely.
No.
If you were to buy a house, they'd probably cut you off of food stamps.
Oh, yeah, they
and all
would.
that
They
other
would.
stuff. You're on your own, Asaph, or whatever,
Yeah. But if you had the money for a home and all that, you probably wouldn't need food stamps anyway. You'd have such a good, just.
But I'm just using it as an analogy,
Yeah.
But I'm 60 years old and I've never owned my own home.
No, but yeah, I'm 51.
And I probably never will at this point. I have peace about that now,
Huh.
Sometimes I would still wish. It bothers me sometimes. Not in a complaining way. Like I look back at my life and say, I sure wish I could have had that opportunity. Or like getting married,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever marry or anything
Yeah,
that, but that's just one of the mysteries of life.
I know.
Deuteronomy 29:25. You know what that verse says? It's the first half of that verse says, "The secret things belong to the Lord."
That's
Have you
true.
ever heard that?
I've read that, but I didn't
secret
memorize.
things
Yes.
belong to the Lord. That's Deuteronomy 29:29.
Yes.
And I think you could put that in the category.
Oh, yeah,
for example, why are some people have healthy bodies and some don't?
Yeah.
That's a mystery. Why is it that some have and some have not? Rich, poor, some have houses, some don't. Some marry, some don't. Some marry in their 40s, some marry in their 50s, some don't marry at all. It's like there's this inequity.
Yes.
And you ask yourself why. And you know what the answer is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly, that's true.
If somebody were to come up to me and say, why Asaph, I would tell them, look, I can't give you an answer. That's one of those mysteries of life. We don't know why some things are. But see where I'm going with this is that's where faith in God comes in.
That's true.
If you think about that. When you can't see it, when you don't know, when you don't have the answer, that's where you're just going to have to just look up and have faith in God, even if you don't have the answer. Yeah. There are a lot of things in this life that I just simply don't know.
Same here.
Why do babies die?
Yeah.
Why do children die? I can't answer that.
Yeah. Thing is, I could have gone to college, but I didn't want to go to college, didn't have the money, and I hated school. And I know that if I'd gone to college, I could have had a nice home, but it wasn't worth going to college because I hated school so much. Yeah. So I've had to make some sacrifices to keep the lifestyle I want. If I had entered the corporate world, yes, I could own something nice in the South Hills, but what would I have had to give up? I would have had to wear a suit and a tie and conform, and I can't stomach that.
Yeah, that's not for everybody. The corporate world is not for everybody.
Yeah, and I can't stomach that, the conformity and the ties and fitting in. I mean, I don't like being poor, but at least even with my lifestyle, I have freedom. I'm on Social Security.
Yeah, I understand that. Freedom by the standard we have of the system, or whatever.
I don't have to conform. I can be a punk rocker and I can be free in my mind.
You don't have to cut your hair to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking about the military. That's totally different.
Yeah.
But there's a purpose for that, military. But outside of that, the system.
Yeah, the system is horrible.
You gotta cut your hair.
This is horrible.
Such and such.
This is horrible.
Yeah,
that's what punk rockers have been railing against for years.
I understand.
Makes us sick.
Yeah. So that's probably why I'll never have all those things. Because I'm not willing to conform.
Nor am I. You would have made a very good punk rocker.
Probably. If
Because
I
that
could've
is
done it
punk
with the
rock
hair.
beliefs right there.
I understand that, but yeah, there were a lot of things when I was younger.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 60 years old now, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was 20, there were a lot of things that I saw that I did not like.
Yeah, definitely.
And I didn't want to be part of
Yeah.
it. So I said back then, well, if I don't conform to that, I'll probably end up with no car,
Yeah.
poor. But I think I'd rather be poor and have my peace of mind
Same here,
than
yeah.
trying to work some job and be stressed walking on a
Yes.
tightrope. If you do everything perfectly, you're going to be canned.
That's
And
punk
then
rock
add
philosophy
to the
right there.
stress
Yes,
right there.
absolutely.
You know how many people stress when they lose their job?
I know.
And when people don't have no money, divorces can happen.
Yeah, it's
That's
horrible.
really stressful. It is horrible. You know? And I'm not dogging on, I understand,
Yeah.
it doesn't make it necessarily right, but I understand that people split up because they have no money. It
Yeah.
doesn't make it right,
Yeah.
but I understand it. And I never wanted to live that way or be that way.
Exactly,
and
exactly.
stuff. I just, you know,
Mm.
I just, you know, I used to see this mentality where people would judge your human value,
I
and
know.
your human worth by what you have going for you.
Yeah.
I wrote about that in my autobiography.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be that way.
Exactly.
I
How
don't
you
want to be with
dress.
this person because he doesn't have nothing going for him, you know?
It's
That's judgmental
horrible,
to me.
yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and we punk rockers have
You
rejected
don't know
that.
what
you
that
know?
guy might have gone through, and
Yeah.
I have something. You know?
Exactly.
But it's the system. It's not the job I have a problem. It's the system. It's the mentality.
Absolutely.
If that makes any sense, you know?
Yeah. You may not
So-
have any punk rock clothing, but you have punk rock beliefs. That's perfect. Punk rock
Well,
philosophy
I don't know
101
about that,
back
but I
there.
did
Right,
see,
perfect.
I
right.
did see that, you know,
Yeah.
I knew that when I was in my early 20s that
Oh,
I
yeah.
never wanted to judge someone if they didn't have something going for them.
Yeah.
I didn't want to criticize them and
Yeah.
look down my nose on them and all
Mhm.
that. And I didn't want to conform to the system that says your hair has to be clipped behind your
Yeah.
ears, or you can't work at a shoe store, for example, or some crazy thing, or you have to be married by 25.
Exactly.
Or there's something wrong with you, you
Yeah.
know?
And that's also hippie philosophy. You would have made a good hippie.
But, you know, I just never wanted to be that way.
Exactly.
But I knew when I was young that if I adapted that philosophy, that I'd probably go through life without having a lot of material stuff.
And same with me, yeah.
And same at 60 now. I don't have a car. I've owned cars, but they
Yeah.
were always like clunkers that didn't last long.
Oh, yeah.
I've never owned a brand new car.
Yeah.
I am 60 years old and I have never owned a brand new car.
Yeah.
I have never had my own home,
Yeah.
and I probably never will at this point in
Yeah.
my life. You know, I used to feel sad,
Mhm.
and sometimes I get those moments, but it doesn't bother me as much as it
I
used
know,
to.
I know.
You know?
I have a nice
You just have
place.
to
Yeah.
be, yeah, I like my place. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you've seen my place.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I have a nice place
So-
too that I've had for 10 years. I love it.
Yeah.
I even have a garden and that kind of thing. I love it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not a fancy home in the South Hills, but
Well,
I've had to
no.
make sacrifices, you know, to live the way I want to, freedom.
Yeah, with that freedom but the system,
Yeah.
the 9 to 5 system.
No, horrible, horrible, horrible.
And I'm not saying don't get a job.
Right.
Well, I'm not saying that.
Mhm.
But I am saying that 9 to 5
Yeah.
is not for everybody.
No, it's not for me. Yeah, it's
It's
just,
not for me either.
and I'm disabled anyway. I have learning disabilities, so I couldn't do that even if I
Well,
wanted to.
and I understand that, but you know, every circumstance and every person is different. You know?
I can't even drive because it's so confusing because of my mental disabilities.
Yeah,
and
I understand
brain
that.
injury,
So
that kind of thing,
that's-
you know.
That's why I sympathize. I'm not going to criticize or judge someone, you know, like
Yeah.
that. Everybody is different. I think you have to do what works for you.
Exactly.
Because what works for one person may not work for another.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the way I see
And
it.
I hate it when people think you're lazy because you don't have a full-time job. What if you're disabled like
Yeah.
I am? Or what if you
Yeah.
want some other profession like whatever you're doing or whatever?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you shouldn't be thought of as lazy. You're
Well,
not
you
lazy.
know-
You're a hard worker.
Well, I just do it different. But I've been criticized over the years
Oh, yeah.
for not doing the traditional 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But as I look back at my life, I don't have a lot of material stuff, but at least I got to do what I wanted to do.
Exactly, exactly.
When I look back at my life.
Yeah.
And how many years do I have left at 60 years old?
I know.
Probably not very many. So at least I can look back at my life and say, well, at least I got to do what I wanted.
Hmm.
I knew when I was in high school I wanted to be a musician.
Yeah.
And I've spent my whole life doing it.
Uh-huh.
You know, because some people, they work, I've seen this, you know, people have these jobs, like these 9 to 5 jobs, that may pay well. and they're miserable.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so unhappy they have to do the same thing every day. They have to get up at 6 o'clock before the birds or something.
Yeah.
They got to do this job or they're going to be tossed out, and that's a pretty stressful way to live to me.
It is.
If you think about it.
The Defiance wrote an excellent song. It has too many profanities, so I have no edit most of it out. But every day is the same blankety blank. I have to drag myself out of bed and stagger off to blankety blank work, working for blank 8 hours a day. Life is absolutely pointless. It's getting nothing done. Screaming, I mean, it's definitely.
I know, but that works for some people.
Yeah.
But not everybody. So, but that's just my story.
Yeah.
But that's life.
Yeah. The theme is, the song was called I Hate Everything, Hate Everything. I hate everything, I blanketly hate you all. I hate everything, I blanketly hate it all. Life is horrible when you blanketly hate it all. Everything you see makes you blanketly sick. Left wing, right wing, sitting on a fence. You blanketly never gonna change the world. You blanketly think you're gonna change the world. I just love this song. It had one F-bomb after another, so I can't really sing it on the cheap.
I know. Okay,
but that's the frustration I feel too often,
Yeah.
I love punk rock.
We are literally out of time. This went by so quick.
It did.
You got any final words before we go?
Yes, to lighten the mood, because we've been so serious. There were these paper towel tubes on a washing machine. It's very fascinating. And then this one vacuum cleaner came along and said, "Oh, I can't see around that." And then the washing machine started to smile. So the vacuum cleaner got mad and laughed. Ah! Isn't that hilarious?
I'm going to stop on that note. Well, anyway, we're in a set of the group from the past called the Champs.
Yeah.
And they must have had a lot of fun when they did this song, if you think about it. They must have had fun. So anyway, affectionately on my left, our aging rocker Emmett. Thanks for hanging out. And this was kind of a fun, impromptu.
It was wonderful
debate, but It was just, this was a fun show.
I loved it, yeah.
I really enjoyed it, so thanks for hanging out with
Certainly.
me. And at least we can say the Champs left a
they did.
A neat little song.
Yeah.
And they use it in movies. They put it in the Pee-wee Herman 1985 movie, I believe it was, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that. So that song will probably live on in music foreverland or whatever they call it,
Yep.
Well, I am Asaph Cafe, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in with me and our aging rocker Emmett. Until our next show, Maranatha. That familiar chord.
Yep.
Well, make yourself at home, and I'll
Thanks.
shut everything down and we can talk more.
Thanks.